everyone, this is Alchemisted, and joining me tonight are Andrew, Amveculus, Grant, and Dees from the...
Temporal Directive.
Temporal Directive. I was thinking of what the Fleet Ops was called.
Uh-huh.
I know where you're from. I just forgot what the name of that Fleet Ops was called, because it was forever and a day ago. Once upon a time... These gentlemen joined me after the launch of Season 7, and we spent basically two and a half hours ranting about the colossal... How would you describe them? Faux pas?
Yeah, fail, stupidity,
Mess.
whatever you want to call it.
The colossal volume of fail that was Cryptic's decision-making capabilities at the launch of Season 7. What were we so pissed about? They took dilithium. They practically took dilithium out of STFs.
STS, the long 40-hour cooldowns on getting your stuff. The thankfully long 84,000 dilithium per Mark 12 piece.
Oof.
God, I'm so glad that was a typo or something. And basically just the sheer stupidity behind a lot of their decisions. Thankfully, I can say I am happy with Season 7 a month, 2 months later. It's gone over a lot better since they still haven't failed at, they still have failed at a few things, but thankfully they've righted a lot of their mistakes.
Yeah, most of what they screwed up, they screwed up. Yeah, here, have it back.
So they restored, not entirely, because it used to be, what did you used to get for an Elite STF, like 1,000?
It was 1,100, and if you did it on the special STF days on Wednesdays, STF, you'd get 1,600 dilithium.
Uh-huh.
And any of the proto salvages, or not proto techs, but any salvage you got, it'd double it. And so, they took that out. They replaced it with the Fleet Mark Hour, which really should be 2. And, I mean, they have added a lot of good things, like the chance to get 11 board neural processors. That's 2,000 dilithium. Mm-hmm. And, I have walked out of an STF with, like, 5,000 dilithium in one STF, where you really couldn't do that in the normal version.
No. But the STF days are a thing of the past, I think it should be said.
Yes, they are.
Which I think is another misstep.
As far as the general dilithium on the Elite being 960 versus the 480, if that was the only change, I'd be okay with it, because it is double for, the higher difficulty, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not that much reduced, except for having the special days for it going away.
I think that what they need to do is they need to take, like, the Fleet Marks event and the Reputation Marks event and just make that one big 3-hour event.
Well, the first thing I need to do is ditch the stupid Vault event that nobody cares about.
No.
Now.
No.
I mean,
that was the only way to get the Riemann gear.
No, I tested it out when I got the Aeon Time Shuttle.
Uh-huh.
And I sat in the queue for 48 minutes.
Oh.
I started the queue when the event came up at 7 o'clock. I finally got into the match at 7:48, and then the game bugged out, and I couldn't play it.
That's something else they changed, is they changed the PvE queue pretty substantially. It's got a nicer looking interface. It's a lot cleaner. It presents a lot more information, except for one glaring omission. It doesn't tell you how many people are queued for something. Which
again, they've said they bring that back.
And well, they had this thing that they said, let's, that thing wasn't accurate and all that shit. But that's not the point behind it. People like me, I know I was one of them. I'd look at the queue, and it would say, you have, there's 4 people in here. Generally, I would queue myself if I saw 4 people, even if it was a pug.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, you go in and you're sitting there for, I sat, and then the queues are completely broken. I teamed with some friends. 5 of us teamed together. I queued us for one event, and it put us I queued us for infected space.
Mm-hmm.
Put two of my friends in into the Hive Elite. This is people that these were first-time STFers.
Oh.
And in Hive, into the Hive Elite, or Onslaught, there we go.
Oh.
It put one into Cure Space, and then it dumped me and one of the other ones in infected space.
Oh.
And this was not a while ago, like, just a freak Season 7 bug. This happened like a month ago, and it's happened to me again.
And Veculus, you thought you had it bad when you started STFs with Cure Ground.
I did have bad.
And the worst part about it is they were both in science vessels.
Oh. It's bad enough flying a cruiser in that thing. At least I can survive a few hits.
It could have been fine then.
So, Hive Onslaught. Holy shit.
I love the Hive missions. I think they're awesome.
I have done the ground version a couple times. That one's fun. I've done Hive Onslaught normal once, and I haven't done it since. That's because
I only do Hive Onslaught normal. The big problem I have with Hive Onslaught normal is the lances. Like, if you die fighting the two Unimatrix ships, by the way, holy shit, 2 Unimatrix ships, really? If you die fighting those things, it spawns you a ways away from them, and it's the perfect place for them to bullseye you with their lances immediately after you spawn, unless you full impulse straight to them. And if you do that, you've got no weapons power.
Or the absolute fun one of spawning you right next to the fuckers.
Yes.
And there's just something about fighting like 30,000.
Oh yeah.
You broke up really bad on that, man.
I think I got the gist of what he was trying to say though, is just that opening melee with all of those Borg ships. The Borg are not a threat anymore. These guys are just throwaway mobs now.
I mean, cubes are a joke to any ship I fly, but when you got cat cubes everywhere, like literally everywhere, it's not that fun.
No.
I can't figure out why the spheres are more of a threat to me than full cubes.
Because the Borg and the STFs are massively screwed up. They're massively jacked up. They're not actually Borg. They're not actually like Borg monsters. They're basically just like super powerful NPCs.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I was in an STF, Infected Space Elite. I was fine. The cube got, his face wrecked. And I went to take on a sphere, and both of them tractored me and proceeded to gangbang me. Fun.
Yeah, the spheres are way more of a threat than the cubes, just because of the weird way. And I know what's caused it. It's Cryptic. Like, every time somebody comes up with a way that they can easily manage the STFs, like every time, like Armac is a perfect example of this. Anytime somebody comes up with a tactic that Cryptic for some reason doesn't approve of, they jack up the Borg. And they keep jacking them up. And that results in just, like, wildly weird balancing as far as the enemies go. Like, just the spheres are more of a threat than the cubes. The gateways are more of a threat than the cubes. And
no, it's really funny because they still can't figure out how to really balance Armac. Because, I mean, my science character can solo him pretty easily. I mean, I've done it a few times now, and I find it a joke to fight him as a medic. But and even if you have a couple engineers that know what they're doing and they place some mortars out of bounds, he's still fucked. But then you have his aggro. His aggro is borked. I have my medic has 9 points in threat control. That means I'm a big shiny. Look, guys, I'm over here with a sword.
Hey, look at me. I'm a target.
Yeah, and what happens? He goes. Anybody shoots him before you melee him, automatically breaks his aggro. You can wail on him to your heart's content, and until everybody around you is dead, he will not aggro you.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is that you can solo him, and that's great, but that effectively makes the rest of the team non-participants, except for maybe the one guy backing you up. Like, everybody else has to stay away, so they don't draw his aggro, so they don't, so they don't, like, get you insta-kill.
I don't like that.
Well, you can do massive
finally
damage to him to kill him too, guys.
You can, but just as often it'll result in everybody having to respawn. It's not.
Look,
it's not really like pulse wave hugging him isn't really a plan.
The medic. I mean, the pulse wave hug is fun, but it's hard to pull it off if you don't have a really, really high damage team, because you have to kill him basically every time. You have to kill him before he can react. He has, 3 stages? The first stage, when you get him down to no shields and half health, then to a quarter health, and then dead. And on the second one, the first one where he pulls that orbital strike out of his ass and insta-kills you if you're not paying attention. Then he gets his little cover shields around him, which makes it even more fun. Which you can get stuck in, which is, godly fun.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, the massive that is everything else about Armek Borg.
Well, what I think they need to do is they need to, like, sort of trash the design for him as it is right now and come up with something new. Like, Armek is a Klingon, so he should be all about, like, melee fighting. Like, he should be all about, like make Armek, like, this really freaky, giant, fast-moving fucking Borg. Like, make him this huge
I hate the
motherfucker.
most is the fact that here I am as an engineer, and I basically get punished for doing what I normally do against him.
Tactical officers, same thing. If you can't heal yourself through his attacks, you have no chance. And we lost Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been the person who breaks the stuff that they nerf 2 months after I figure out how something gets done. So I have a very different opinion on how to play most of this game than everybody else.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you shouldn't have to break it. Is my point.
No, I completely agree. It's just how they keep doing it.
It's just like the design of Armek is really bad. Basically, he's a giant brick, and fighting just this giant immobile brick that just points in your vague direction and kills you is not really fun or interesting or even challenging. It's just kind of unfair, especially when they keep changing things, like basically nerfing the players every time the players figure out a way to take this guy down.
Yep.
So it's not really that's not good game design, and it's not creative game design either. Like they just need to go back to the drawing board, if not on Cure, because Cure is doable. If your team remotely has it's not like before where the Cure was the great ender of fleets when it first came out. It was the great ender of friendships. Like, if you couldn't get past that second gate, you weren't going to beat the fucking mission. It used to be like beating your head against a wall. It's not like that anymore. If your team has their shit remotely together, you can do it. But it's just Armek is this massive brick wall at the end, and it's not very good. So moving on from that, back to the subject. Andrew's still trying to come back in. What happened over there?
What?
Don't know. Every time somebody tries to re-out, Skype just says call failed.
Wow.
No, we'll try it. Let's hear that.
This applause is for you, Microsoft. Okay, so while Andrew tries to claw his way back into the call, let's go over Mulrihan. Thoughts on Malrihan, on the missions, the people, the places?
I thought the 5th tier one was a letdown. I really felt that there was nothing to it, and it was just cheaply tacked on to the tier 4 mission.
Oh yeah,
It really kind of pissed me off.
I was actually a little bit confused at first when it was like go into the ruins, and I was like, okay, well, where do I find the mission to go into the ruins? And it took me, and I was kind of like standing there before I thought, no, they don't want me to do that, no. And like if you were gonna make that the tier 5 mission, then why didn't you just make the tier 4 mission something else?
Yep.
You know, it's the same mission as a tier 4 mission. And you know, if they're gonna reuse that map, that's
I think
fine.
I'm back. I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes. Oh.
If they're gonna, we're talking about like the tier 5 Romulan rep mission.
Right.
If they were gonna reuse that map, that's fine with me, because that map is really cool looking. You know, I think they should, like, if they make a map, I think they should get some mileage out of it. But like having you repeat the same mission for the tier 5. The cutscene was really nice. In fact, the cutscene was kind of the sort of stuff I've been saying for the longest time the game desperately needs, is to build these guys up. And I'm not saying who these guys are, because Inveculus is here and he hasn't done it.
Okay, can you guys hear? I know this is in the. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Because I don't know how well this mic is gonna work. Because it's an old one I have, but I'm gonna try it out and hopefully I can stay in the call.
But it's the kind of stuff I've been saying the game has needed for a while, to build these guys up before they show up.
Oh yeah, it was incredibly. I'm very happy. It was very well done. I liked all 5 missions. Well, 4 and a quarter missions. And you know, another thing that's actually made me really enjoy this game is talking. I talk to Brandflakes a lot, and I even have his personal account as a friend on mine. I mean, which is, I gotta say, I've enjoyed. He's a great STFer, and he does some serious damage. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, he's pretty friendly.
Yeah. But oh god, we need more STFs to do, and after a year of blowing the Borg into itty bitty pieces in 16 or 17 different ships now.
Nothing else is a threat.
I mean, the Borg are no threat. I could probably fly a Miranda, and they probably wouldn't do much to me.
People probably have. In fact, I know. I know people who have.
I've seen it. Yeah, there's a video of infected Space Elite being beat by 5 Constitution class.
What was that? Sad Pandas?
Oh god, it was hilarious. No, it was
by freighters, but they won't let you. So, oh well.
That'd be so much fun. 5 freighters would be awesome, and yeah, but I am very happy with the rep system. I found it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I have found it a lot of fun. I love the loot that you can get from it.
I think it's cool, but for the amount of time and effort you put into leveling that up, the story rewards weren't quite there. Like
no, I agree with you.
The
on
missions,
that.
like
100%.
the environments, especially for Tier 3. Tier 3's environment was gorgeous.
It really, really, they all had such, well, except the second mission that was, I mean, it was a great mission.
The second mission's environment was gorgeous compared to the first.
Oh yeah, the first one was boring.
The
but
second mission was a really nice change.
The bugs in it were so retarded.
Oh, the bug at the very end. I think I covered that one too.
Yeah, I think you did, but I did it with Grant, and they were all immersive. It really shows what Cryptic could have done with this game had they really invested time into it. Because really, if every mission in this game was to the quality that the featured episodes and these missions that you did through the Romulan rep, if they were that good, this game would have been, even as crappy as it was in the beginning, this game would have been a lot more popular. But I can't say that because look at Star Wars The Old Republic. This is a $170 million game.
Oh.
A game that went free to play in 11 months had a undeniably, I love Star Trek, but Star Wars is the more popular franchise I think, especially game-wise, and it had one of the best developers, RPG developers of all time behind it.
Well,
A huge budget.
BioWare has been slipping.
Oh, of course, but I think that's more because of EA.
Yeah.
But it's just everything they... Oh, go for it. I'm sorry.
Do you want to know why it's failed and failing?
I mean, it has a very anemic... I've read a lot. I love massively. It has really anemic end game. Boring PV... Or good... It has good PvP. Anemic... Other than that, everything else, endgame is really anemic, boring. A great single-player story. I mean, I'd much rather the Old Republic have been a good single-player game than a really crappy MMO.
I know, it would have been really great if it was KOTOR 3.
Yeah,
you could just play it however you wanted.
If it wasn't WoW, the Star Wars slapped on it.
Yeah,
the WoW-ness of it isn't that bad though.
You don't beat WoW. They're too big.
Well, I don't think they're trying to beat WoW.
I don't think they were trying either, but they wanted to be the next WoW. That's what
they wanted to be the
intention was.
next WoW, but they didn't want to beat WoW because WoW has been declining in recent years.
Because it's stale.
Yeah, I mean, even with this, the Mists of Pandaria, whatever.
Kung Fu Panda expansion, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I have fallen in love with Star Trek Online, and I really have. I mean, I've told you guys, I've spent a lot of money on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Real world, and I've had spent a lot of money in game, but Star Trek Online has done something that I don't think any other MMO has really done. And as many games as I've played, this game has the best space combat in the sense that it's deep, but it's also shallow. It's very easy to get into.
You mean it's very arcade-like?
Yeah, and it's fun. It doesn't, Bridge Commander's it's the best Star Trek for ship combat, but it's hard to get into, and this game is just so much fun. I love customizing my ships. I love having fun with this game.
Well, what it is it's basically Starfleet Command with a Z-axis.
Yeah.
Put it this way, I cannot stand MMOs. I've tried over and over the years to get into them. I've never gone beyond the first 3 levels. Game, I am top tier, and I have a pretty badass ship. I do all the end game stuff all the time.
Yeah, and it's this game has done it right for the end game, and I mean everyone here has been flies a lot of different ships except Deez because he's a Ferengi, and I'm sorry, I couldn't see Deez in any other ship but the Decora. And I mean your character Deez, not all your other characters, because I don't want you in another ship. You're Deez, not your Ferengi. Ferengis need Decoras.
Well, you do occasionally see me in my freighter when I'm wheeling and dealing.
That's another story, but I really like what they're doing with this game. I hated it when Season 7 launched, but now that it's been 2 months and I've played a lot of the content, and Mal Rihan is just... It's the best work Cryptic has done thus far. It's a gorgeous environment. It has multiple environmental types, and the nanovs are goddamn cute.
Yeah, multiple environmental types. You hear that, Star Trek? It's not the planet of ice or the planet of forest.
Well, that's something that Star Trek's been guilty of since day one, though.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Not this game, the entire Star Trek universe.
Yeah,
like that.
There's no doubt about that.
It's defined that way. Star Wars has swamp planets and ice planets too.
Oh yeah, but
well, actually, that may be something.
It's kind of a trope that's endemic to science fiction. That you have like single biome planets. Something that Star Trek does a little bit too much though, and you see it come through in this game, is the warrior cultures. Everybody's a fucking warrior culture.
Except the Federation, because they're just Marxist assholes. But that's not the point here. If you look, but going back, and I don't want to talk about it too much, because this is Rise of the Red Shirt, not Rise of the Jedi, or whatever you'd call a Star Wars. Anyway, going back to the Old Republic, its free-to-play sucks. It really sucks.
I've heard that.
You only get, if you don't buy it, if you completely go in the same way Deez, Inveculus, and well, you were a previous subscriber, but the way Deez
I
and
never
Imbeculous,
subscribed.
Ari Powerplay, and Luca have come into the
you're
game.
talking about the Old Republic, okay?
Yeah, completely free to play. You have access to everything in game. There's nothing that you have to buy to play this game. You can do all the end game. You can get any gear you want if you have the time to get it. In the Old Republic, you have to have bought, like, I think $30 or $10, $15, $20 worth of stuff to be able to get more quick bars. You have to pay to play the end game if you're not a subscriber. You can't use Artifact, which is apparently their best gear, unless you're a subscriber or pay the $10 to do so. And it's retarded the way they have implemented free-to-play because they did it in 3 weeks. At least I will give Cryptic this. They took their time with the free-to-play model.
The free-to-play Matrix and still is pretty good.
There's no game that's... I mean, from what I have seen personally, there's no game as good as Star Trek Online for the free-to-play model. And the fact that they really have given people the tools to do whatever they want. Look at Deez. He hasn't spent a penny on this game. Everything he has bought has been through the Dilithium to Zen exchange. And not a lot of people can say that.
With the exception of, I've had other people hand me stuff, and,
Yeah,
that's
that's...
usually it's because I was helping them out or giving them something else.
Yeah, but that doesn't count,
But,
though.
Ferengi.
Yeah, exactly. He lives up to his character name.
Okay, so that's so
And
we've
on that
covered
note, the trade window gets opened.
So we've covered Melrihan, and we have covered the STFs. So what else was introduced? The embassies.
Oh god, the embassies.
Those are fun.
They're fun. They have some great gear, but they they said it'd be a cheaper version.
Horseshit.
I call bullshit. We've had the tier 2 now. We're almost... Hold on, let me go to our holdings real quick. We actually are 9,000 away from hitting diplomacy tier 3, and our embassy is still 600,000 short of tier 2 to the upgrade to start. So it's not cheaper. It's cheaper in the sense that it doesn't take forever and a day to get to the max level, but it's not cheaper in Dilithium. It's actually, for the span of it, I'd say it's more expensive. Because every mission you do is 30,000 or 20,000 Dilithium for the next mission. So that adds up. But that's my opinion on it. And now
I do have to say this, though. The extra duty officer mission slots potentially means you're getting more dilithium back out of it.
Yeah,
not a lot at once, but
I like the extra duty officer slots, and honestly, the kits are pretty badass. That Mark 12 kit with Ambush 4 and Motion Accelerator, no, Plasma Grenade 4 and Motion Accelerator 4, and the duty officers they have there in the fleet base are pretty sick for TAC officers. The other two kits, the engineering kit, if you like the turret fab kit, is really nice. The science kit is the worst kit in the game for science. They didn't add the physicist, none of the cool kits. They added the xenobiologist kit. Because, everybody wants that kit. Dipshits.
So what about the architecture of the embassies? Did anybody else go to ops in the embassy and just sort of look around and go, oh, come on?
Yes. Yes. God, yes. The nanovs are cute, I think.
I know, but what I'm talking about is that huge ops room that, looks like it belongs on a starbase.
Yeah, I was like, wait, if this is ops in an embassy, our ops looks like shit.
You're what ops is, you have that big lobby. Ops is actually the little room off of that lobby where the bank is.
Yeah, that's your ops on a starbase that would potentially hold, at tier 5, could easily hold 400,000 or 500,000 people. These are big starbases. But no, we get a little dinky room with a guy that hands out missing pad reports or whatever.
On both
like you're doing
ops in embassy looks like you could run the whole planet.
Yeah, that's why it's awesome.
So how about having to unlock the same functionality all over again that you just unlocked on a starbase?
The one that irritates the ever-living shit out of me, though, and I will say this hands down, is the fact that you have to you can get an exchange on your fucking embassy, but you can't on your starbase. Why? Give me one good fucking reason why a starbase doesn't have an exchange.
I don't know. Why doesn't every ship have access to the mail in the bank?
That's an excellent point.
Well, you can access your mail from anywhere, but you can only...
But you can't take anything out of it.
You can't take anything out of it. As for the bank, they did add the account bank. But the thing is, people have wanted that functionality forever, since ship interiors first arrived. People have wanted functionality to them.
You mean almost 3 years ago?
Yeah, almost 3 years ago. And it finally arrived in the form of lockbox ships, like the Tuffley and the Decora. Oh, you can access your bank on this ship. You can access your mail on this ship. The things that people have wanted for their interiors forever.
Wait, no. Only the Decora and the Tuffley have the access to the bank. But honestly, the Decora... I don't mind the lockbox ships too much. At first, it was kind of irritating when literally everything and the kitchen sink would drop a lockbox. But now that it's harder to get a lockbox...
Not really.
I don't mind it too much. Like, it doesn't bother me to the same point.
It isn't hard to get a lockbox at all.
Well, I mean, it's not hard, but compared to the way it used to be, where literally every ship would be like, here, open this lockbox. Now it's... Most ships have them, but it's not as bad.
Remember constantly having to, like, pass on a lockbox?
That's the best thing they did. Remove them from STFs, because you blow up a lot of shit in STFs, especially Cure Space.
Oh, they're not removed. They're not removed.
Well, I think I've seen 3 lockboxes in the last, 2 months of STFing.
Yeah,
what I remember laughing when you blew up torpedoes and then drop them.
That still does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have a chance to do that.
So what they are, they're common loot drops now, so they don't immediately give you a need, greed, pass.
Yeah, you just kind of pick them up.
Yeah.
That was kind of continual bombardment in some of the STFs.
Yeah, and you're just like, please get this shit off my screen before I hurt somebody. One thing that needs to happen, because more than likely, by the end of, I'm guessing Season 8, Season 9, we're gonna have a level cap upgrade. And I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody that hits the level cap should have the ability to level their ship to Tier 6.
Oh, yeah.
And that really needs to happen.
They desperately need to do that, because there are so many ships for Tier 5, and people have spent so much money buying Tier 5 ships in this game.
Yeah, I mean, me alone, I have the Odyssey 3-pack, the Aatrox, the HEC, the MVAE, the Defiant, the Galaxy R. I think that's it. Probably have a couple more, but I don't feel like going all... And that's a lot of money, and I don't mind the fleet idea. The fleet idea is fine. You can buy them on the exchange, and really, if you own the ship already, it's only 5 million EC, which save up for like a month. You could probably have that.
Except
Less
for
than that.
people who have none of the ships that have been upgraded for fleet exchange.
Yes.
Everything you own is the non-upgradable version.
Yeah, like, I'm really mad that there's no Fleet Dreadnought. There needs to be...
They're working on one, is what's been said.
Go for it.
A new tier of ships just triggered a horrifying thought in my mind. You realize that will mean a new tier to the starbase to have access to new tiers of ships.
Yeah, it'll more than likely will have tier... I'm guessing it's not going to be a full tier, though.
It'll probably be an upgrade project for if you hit Tier 5.
Yeah, I'm guessing when you're at Tier 5, you'll get an upgrade to your military, the shipyard, and you'll get access, do this project that's 85 bajillion fleet marks and half a billion dilithium. And look, you get Tier 6, you get 2 Tier 6 ships. Because they said the Typhoon is going to be a Tier 6 ship, more than likely. That's what they were, implying. As long... any ship, they can add any ship to Tier 6. Just please, for God's sake, do not add the Dreadnought. God, that thing is ugly.
You mean not the Typhoon, the
Jupiter.
Yeah.
The Jupiter Dreadnought. That thing is ugly as sin. Looks like a beached whale.
What's wrong with you?
Shut up, Grant. Nobody likes you. But
A lot of the
it's-
ships are ugly.
yeah.
On boy.
I'm just look, and if they do add this tier 6, anybody, and it doesn't matter if you're a free-to-play player, you have access to this when you hit level 60. I guess would be the level cap. And what it would do is you could turn any lieutenant commander or any lieutenant into a lieutenant commander slot. And you could turn one ensign into a lieutenant slot. You can add 2 consoles if you're any 2 consoles to a max of 6, so you can't have
will probably
7.
be it would probably be easier, and this might be the way they take it, is let's say you have to, like, if you want to upgrade a ship, you have to, like, buy a schematic. Fine, you have to buy a schematic from the Z store, and you have an option for a improved tactical, improved engineering, or improved science.
Yeah,
And
that'd
you
be like a
use one
quick-
of these
Yeah.
while you have your ship active, and it will convert that ship into one of these variants of that
Yeah.
particular ship. Because I think they said that it was easier for them to make variants than it is for them to make new ships.
Yeah, and again, I agree with you 100. Like that's just as good. Like honestly, but you have to get one for free, because that's not fair that you put something like this, and that would really put a hamper on people that don't have the money, or can't afford it, or don't want to spend money. So you get one free one. You can turn any ship you want into, you get a tier 6 ship for free, and then anyone after that, you have to pay for. The only ships that it should be free for are the lockbox ships, because that wouldn't be fair, because God knows some people have spent a few $100s and not gotten a ship. So I think the lockbox ships should automatically be upgraded to tier 6. You should get a choice of which one you want whenever you equip that ship for the first time after hitting 60. But all other ships, you get one for free, and the rest you have to buy. Like for
The
500.
alternative I can see on the lockbox ships is, spending some low-buy crystals on an upgrade from the low-buy consortium.
But even then, that's even more monetization, and that would be even worse for people that, again, have spent all this money. Unless it's like 50 low.
Huge amount, but, 5 or 10 on a schematic upgrade or something.
Yeah, well, but again, we don't know what their plans are until they hit, until tier 5.
Mhm.
Well, according to their upgrades, when they do the level cap increase, you're going to be able to take an officer and give them command of a ship, and they'll follow you.
Oh God, that's gonna be so broken.
That's the thing they've been working on forever, according to
Do you know how much fun?
Oh, I have
people-
an Odyssey that's just sitting there.
I would have the Aatrox follow me around with 2 sets of elite Danube runabouts, and I'd have 2 wings of Scorpion fighters and 2 wings of Danubes. Oh God, that's so fun. Oh God, that'd be so much fun.
The possibilities from here are endless and hilarious.
But you wouldn't do the MVAE or whatever, and do 2 of those, so you have 6 versions of yourself out there?
Oh, that'd be even... No, because you can't have... Oh, wait, if you have... So I have the Fleet MVAE, so I could get the one that I get for free from the C store, and have that... Oh, my God.
Ooh.
It'd be like Voltron.
Holy shit, that'd be so much fun!
You know
Gravity
what I
wells,
mean?
gravity wells
Fascinating.
everywhere! Oh, no, I just thought about this, and then have it on my science character, and have 9 ships out at one time?
Yeah.
That's
Photon-
something they've
No,
been
what-
saying they do
They
forever.
need
though.
gravity well mines itself, it'd be little gravity wells.
Oh, and I just thought about, and then I have the Romulan
The
battleship.
Deredex?
The
Yeah,
Deredex?
that thing. I have that, so I could have 10 ships out at one. Oh my God, I would have so the ship. All right, now shall we go on to the Ask Cryptic?
Let's see. Before we get to the Ask Cryptic, let's go ahead and tackle the new featured project for the star bases. So, 200,000 dilithium for an exocom wandering.
And literally,
exocoms are totally worth it. Fuck
literally,
the furries.
I think I think it's literally one.
I for one like the thought of having like a massive dirty pair reference wandering around your starbase, but 200,000 fucking dilithium is too much for it.
No, I'm not kidding. It's one exocomp. Oh god, I'm sitting on the fleet base staring at our one.
Down. Actually, if you go on each floor of the base, you'll get a different color on each base floor.
Oh no, there's there's
if you're
two.
on tactical, black ones show up with red rings.
Okay, that's kind of awesome. But still, I mean, but I can't say nothing because we literally have everything in this fleet unlocked. We have done every special project, even the creepy black mannequins that stand there and stare into your soul. Oh god, this
Here, maybe this will make you feel better.
Oh god, oh god, it's following me, isn't it? Yep, it's following me.
But the thing is, like, all of these projects have cost so much, and you know, when you get right down to it, every one of these has been clown shoes.
Oh, it's not even clown. At this point, it's not even clown shoes. It's
I
fucking
think the strippers and the raver were pretty cool.
The only ones I really thought were awesome are the upgrade to the chair or to the council table and the fish tank. Those are the only two I've liked of all the projects.
I was gonna say,
You didn't like the raver?
No, not really.
You don't like busting out with your oons.
I do remember there was some
music.
So bad.
Put it this way. Those strippers will be the only thing that's not taken from the Empire and given to the feds after a while.
Oh, give them time. They'll give fed strippers on the dance floor, too.
Oh god, I want a stripper. Damn it, Grant!
We're doing that if that comes up.
Oh,
Well, I
there's.
can't really see the blood wine fountain showing up on the Fed side.
You know what? The blood wine fountain is awesome because me, Deez,
I want an instant Ractagino maker in place of a blood wine fountain.
I'm sorry. When we were all sitting in the blood wine jacuzzi, that was kind of awesome. And then now we have the blood wine jacuzzi and strippers. Oh no! The most stupid Starbase project was Morn hologram, that literally just sits there and fades in and out of reality.
Why is Morgan the only one that gets a stool at the bar?
Because he's a hologram?
Because
Why
Deep
is
Space
he
Nine.
this much on a bar and nobody has stools at the bar?
Because you're a Ferengi and Ferengis don't get to sit at the bar? I don't know. But yeah, there have been some really stupid projects, and I'll say that the stupidest was Morn. And yeah, but yeah, there have been some stupid $200,000 lithium projects that literally aren't worth it. The Enterprise one is kind of cool though. I will give them that.
The
They should be
Klingon,
expensive.
the Klingon, you have to give it to the Klingon one. Whoever's doing the graphic arts for the Klingon base really has done some good stuff.
The Klingon base is gorgeous compared to the Federation
If
one.
you've been on, do you guys have Klingon characters? Because if you do, you should come to our Starbase sometime.
I have a Klingon character. I don't play him very much because Klingon PvE content is not really.
Well, the Pycanus sorties are pretty fun when you got me and Deez blowing through them in all of like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but
Hey,
I'm already grinding enough on one character. I don't want to like start grinding like.
Yeah,
constantly on
but
a Klingon
4,400 dilithium in 10 minutes? Can you really complain?
No, not really.
And I mean that it takes us, I think what takes us the longest is getting to the destinations.
Flying
'Cause
between the missions.
Yeah, not actually, the missions. Those take uncloak, daka, everything's dead, and go to the next mission. That's basically how it works for us. But
Speaking of, sector space. That's annoying, isn't it?
you know what? If you're lucky you weren't here for seasons 1 to 3,
Yes.
when all the planets looked like lollipops. There were no star streams.
So much.
Grant, what would you call them?
They were lollipops with the little stick under them holding them up. Oh man, that was hilarious. And you'd had ships that were bigger because of the scaling in the game's always been off. But you'd have a ship sitting out there that was like 10,000 times bigger than a star system.
Yes.
Think how many hangars that
Remember
thing could
this
have.
game before Quantum Slipstream.
Don't remind me.
God. Okay, moving on from the featured project. A new lockbox is out, the Dominion Lockbox. And, let's see, what's in this thing? So, you can get a Jem'Hadar heavy escort carrier, which is basically the Armitage.
Yeah, but it's slower, but more shields than Hall.
Yeah. You get another cross-faction starship console, which the KDF are once again, some probably could say, rightly pissed off about. Starfleet is getting the bio-neural warhead, which somebody here said was the one thing that Cryptic had said that the Federation would never get. I know it was
It just doesn't make sense for the Feds to even have it. I mean, it's an outlawed weapon in the Federation.
I know. That's what I was thinking when I read that. Isn't that banned?
It's okay. My science officers are gonna love it. I need to get a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, I'll probably get one too. The Mirror Universe ship pack, which once again doesn't include a tactical Galaxy because fuck the Galaxy class apparently. It includes a switched advanced and patrol escort. And
kind of cool.
Yeah.
The patrol's nice. It gets to use the console upgrades.
Mm-hmm. The Mirror Patrol gets to use the MVAM console, in fact.
So now we have an engineering one. That's kind of tight.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. There's also a tactical carrier now for the KDF. Tactical oriented. Is it tactical oriented?
No, it's engineering based.
Ah.
This one's all about more Hall and all engineering console slots.
So you can get Dominion DOFs. You can get
Actually, those Dominion DOFs, those are freaking awesome. There are one for engineers that allows you, every time you put down a medical generator, it also has a chance to do cover shield. But when you set down a cover shield, it will also lay a medical generator.
So they're basically... if you're an engineer, they just let you bunker up by using one ability.
Yep.
That's pretty.
There's another one that extends shields to like everybody in your party, and there's a bio-neural one that adds a stun. Every time somebody hits you or something, it tosses a stun back on them.
That's pretty nice.
That's for the science officers. There's some pretty good ones in them, from what I've seen.
And insanely expensive, probably.
This game, you're looking probably $16 million if they're game breaking.
Yeah. Speaking of insanely expensive, or would be, the VIP customer dilithium mining claim package.
You can't sell those.
Yeah, you can't sell those. You can't trade them. Basically, this allows you to go to a rich dilithium vein located at the asteroid in the Vlugta asteroid belt. Is that what it's called? Where you do the mining minigame, which is a good place to get dilithium if you're really early in the game, but people later on have better options. And basically this vein will, once per 20 hours, it's basically a daily, will give you 2,500 to 5,000 dilithium ore depending upon how skilled you are at that minigame. It's unfortunately, the package and the claim items are bind on pickup, so
I just found that out. Yeah.
no exchange profiteering for anybody who wants to sell those. You can get a preferred customer, which is basically the same thing but only half as many. You guys were
Actually, it's slightly more than half as many. It's 6 instead of 5.
Ah.
You'd think it'd be half as many, but no.
There's also, this is something you guys were just talking about, the phased Polaron weapon pack. You guys were saying that these were pretty sweet.
They're going to be good. Like, damage-wise, overall, they're a little bit lower than, like, advanced fleet weapons for damage.
Mm-hmm.
They have about the same damage, but they don't have the bonuses. But because it's the phased Polaron, it's going to be really good for hitting people's subsystems.
There's the Gamma Quadrant Duty Officer. These are the same guys as before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the same guys. You can basically just like roll around Beta Ursae and its environs and get these guys anyways. The Reinforcements Duty Officer mini pack, which is basically the same thing again.
Yeah, they haven't really done anything with that either.
Okay, I'm getting...
The only new one is the new Dominion pack one, and that gives you all those ones we previously talked about.
Okay. Andrew is asking for us to take 5 for a bit so he can get a new mic. So we're going to take a bit of a break, and we'll be right back. And the Reinforcements Duty Officer was the last bit of the lockbox, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Ask Cryptic. So see you guys in a second.